Welcome to Column19, the place where we bring you relevant, informative, and revealing conversations with the key players come 2019. I'm talking about the Nigerian general elections. We are gearing up and things are heating up in the polity. And today, I'll be speaking with Mathias Tsado. He plans to become the next president of Nigeria at just 40 years of age. Well, let's meet him as we find out how, what, and exactly why he wants to become the next president. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
I have to start by asking, the obvious question, which is, who is Mathias Tsado? We find, key players every day, springing from different places, and we're like, where did he come from? What has he done to really stake a claim in Nigerian politics? I'm believing, based on my research, that this would be your first take and shot at politics. So who is Mathias Tsado, and what has been your leading to politics in 2019?
Having gone through life and then see what we have currently, for me, being a graduate of engineering, and I see the solutions to the problems that we have in the country, I decided to look at all of this and what I have in my bank. As in, when I'm talking about bank, I'm talking about ability, I'm talking about competence and capacity, I'm talking about ability to be able to lead a society, to be able to lead the people. I've been a member of student struggle for a number of years. I've played actively in Nigerian politics, but not contesting, because I've been voting, I've been part of campaigns, I've been part of campaign teams. So I've been part of mobilizations and all kinds of political activities. I'm one person who believes that Nigeria and Nigerians are living below their potentials. And one of the things that is needed from our leadership at the moment is to unlock these potentials and allow every single Nigerian to begin to experience, to begin to live, begin to have aspirations, begin to have something that they hope to see, to begin to have a kind of revitalization of our personalities as people, to bring about a Nigeria that we all have been longing and been praying and been fasting to have, in our lifetime. So, in a short, I'm just one young Nigerian, tired and frustrated with old promises, the same promises that were given to us in 1979 when I was 2 years old. And the same way they are recycling politicians, we are recycling promises. We have to break that cycle, and basically
what
that's
makes
what
your
I'm
own
here.
promise different? Because I'm pretty sure you want to fix Nigeria, and what parameters are those you want to use in fixing Nigeria?
All right. When you have a society where citizens don't even know what they should be longing for, virtually everybody just wants to make money. We want to have money and then do what we need. So how can you inspire patriotism? How can you inspire people? How can you be able to inspire the citizens to be actively contributing to the nation, to the building of the country? So what makes my ideas different? I am someone who has experienced failure over time. I am a victim of a failed system.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, so that makes all of us not being the ones, and I'm saying I can lead all of us to have our own country. We are saying that instead of us having to go through the process of going through these men who have consistently promised and failed, why can't we all come together? One of the things that is lacking in building this nation today is the fact that there is no unity. And how can there be unity if there is no purpose? So, you have to be able to string all of these things together. How can there be a purpose when there is no vision? How can there be a vision when there is no leader? So until you have a leadership that can give you a vision, this is the job of the leadership. A leadership is supposed to be able to get the vision and get the people to buy into the vision. Once he gets the people to buy into the vision, his job is done. The people will run to carry out the vision by themselves.
For how long, and also what party are you running on for now? Because I know primaries have started. And then how long have you been a card-carrying member? Because that will also build trust for the people that want to rally behind you.
Now, let me first of all answer the question of we having to see people over time, and then we build they build what people call political staminas and all of that. But I will ask you, Zoe, with all the political staminas that people have built and that we have invested our trust in it, where is the result? So we keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. So if that has been our case, if what we have been doing is going around men that are known, the public figures, the reason why majority of us today, people are saying, oh, we don't know Mathias, is simply because people don't pay attention to those who are making very salient points at the background. They want to hear the voice of those who command resources. So we have that system. It's not just because people have not been around over time. It's because you don't have money or you don't have the kind of wealth to throw around. A lot of questions have been thrown at me. A lot of people think politics is about being a philanthropist. But that's not the case.
Yes, I was about to ask you, what have you done?
Having the capacity to lead the people has nothing to do with how much you have given to your society. What matters most is, what vision do you carry? What abilities do you carry? What competence do you possess? If you have the capacity to be able to get 10 people to follow you, passionately following you without you giving them a dime, then you have the ability to inspire the people. I said this before, that once a leader loses his ability to inspire the people, not inspiring people with cash, but ability to inspire the people by his words. Once a leader loses that ability, he has lost his leadership mantle.
As much as I don't want to repeat, because you somehow have touched upon it, the issue of godfatherism, especially for, forgive me, a newbie such as you, but I would still want to relate this question to that area. So, who in Nigeria, in the Nigerian political space, would you say you respect or you admire or you can give a pass mark? Who in the Nigerian political space today can you touch and say, this man is a good politician, has done well for Nigeria or for this political space in whatever capacity? Who can you say?
Unfortunately, I cannot at the moment count on my fingers and say, oh, so person has been outstanding. However, I will say, what's his name? President Omar Yar'Adua was a man that I respect so much.
Why?
He was someone that, for the first time, someone came up and said, I was elected through a rigged process. However, we intend to change that. He was able to speak with the people of Niger Delta and engage them and say, oh, we can actually have a country that can work for all of us. He had some skills that I admire. Then the personality of President Obasanjo. Now, here is my thinking about it. He had some kind of connection between the people. He was able to connect between the north, the south, the west. He was able to bring them to an extent. At his time, we had not so much of these rancor and rivalries between different ethnicities and all of that. Even though there are some of those things that he did, like silencing some people that raised their voices. We're not talking about having just vision, but having a positive vision that impacts the society. So really, we have people that we are dictators that have made very good leaders in the past.
Exactly my point.
We have, but
and
again,
some believe that Africa needs more of dictators.
What we need at the moment is we need a visionary.
Kagame today is being priced as one of the most successful African leaders, but still under a dark umbrella of dictatorship.
Nigeria is supposed to take the leadership role in entrenching the right kind of democracy in Nigeria, in Africa. All right? Now, so yes, we have Paul Kagame, we have a lot of other people that are doing well, but to an extent have the dark side. Yes, these things are expected to be there in a society. We are a progressive society. We are moving on from one level to the other. However, very important, positive vision is what we need to, first of all, restart the society. Okay. Then the second thing is the trust of the people.
Let me take you up on that. Give me an elevator pitch on, you are the president. I'm painting this, picture now. You are the president of Nigeria. How would you resolve that? You painted a scenario. How would you resolve this issue? This is not the first time that Nigerians are being mauled, killed, oppressed in South Africa. How would you handle that? And then bring it back to Nigeria. How would you resolve the insecurity and plague that we are all feeling, directly or indirectly, here in our country?
Well, first of all, the Nigeria relationship with South Africa, I have maintained this several times. I've maintained this for a very long time. I've mentioned that there's a need for us to review our relationship with South Africa. We need to sit down with the leadership of South Africa and make our position very clear. That I really don't want to, I can afford to sit down and hear about the fact that a Nigeria probably died on the road, or maybe something happened to a Nigeria here. But I can't stand that another citizen of another country is killing my own citizens in their own country.
What will you do?
That's what I'm saying. We need to sit down with the leadership of South Africa and tell them, look, this is not acceptable. And not just that it's not acceptable, there will be serious sanctions. If we have a situation where someone in Nigeria in South Africa, Nigeria needs to occupy the position of leadership in Africa. Recently, you saw what happened when President Donald Trump withdrew from the Iran deal.
Yes.
And placed sanctions in Iran. Do you know how much South Africa makes from Nigeria every year? Until we get to the point where our leaders become very interested in our relationship. Look, that you are benefiting from my country, so you have to
You better behave.
Yes, you better behave.
Yes.
Because if you don't behave, I will place sanctions
there
on you.
There are going to be penalties.
And
yes.
just look at it. How many Nigeria companies are doing well in South Africa? How many Nigerian citizens are doing well in South Africa?
When you flip it.
But just do a flip side.
I see.
So but again, you see, these leaders, are they really concerned about the ordinary citizen?
What's your plan to fix Nigeria? What are you bringing to the table? How do you want to fix Nigeria?
Number one.
And how do you want to become president?
Okay. First of all, let's start with how do I want to become president of Nigeria. The process of becoming the president of Nigeria is indicating your interest to run for office. Then go mobilize people to support you. This is what I've been doing. This is what we're doing at the moment.
Yes.
Getting to reach out to Nigerians and telling them that, look, you have the right to vote for the kind of leaders you want. So for that reason, go out, speak to the people on the streets of your country about the kind of leaders you want. Not the kind of leaders that are being imposed on you. So that tomorrow you're not going to say, oh, because we didn't have good options, we have to choose between these two. Right? So we have options now. Mathias is one of the options. And I am bringing something new to the table. I'm saying that we can have a citizen's leadership. So, and then I know that this is what is needed. Not the kind of leadership that is needed now is a leadership that understands what the people need.
Okay.
which is that every single Nigeria wants to be able to have hope. We want to be able to have something we look up to. I have become a symbol of hope to many young Nigerians that, oh yes, if this young man from the streets can actually get to this level where people are beginning to ask him questions about how, people are beginning to pay attention to what he is saying, then yes, I can pick up myself from the street and then I begin to walk, look up to someone and look up to these things that this young man have been able to do. Now that is how I intend to be able to make it to president.
Okay.
Then we talk about how do we fix Nigeria. Like I said from the onset, what are the problems? Nigeria is a fantastic country with all kinds of opportunities. First thing that we need to do is to bring every citizen of this country to the table. Let us establish the fact that yes, we want to build a nation. And what I would do as a leader of these people is to give them a vision to build the Africa, the leadership, a platform or an institution or what I would call an edifice that the entire black race can look up to and say, that is our continental capital. The capital of the black race should be Nigeria. If every 6 person you see in the world that is a black person, we have 4 of them that are Nigerians or 3 of them that are Nigerians. So why can't we then have these people come together and build for themselves the kind of country they want? So that's the first thing that you need to do. Galvanize the people, unite Nigerians behind a common cause. And the common cause is building the capital nation for the black race. Then build an economic superpower. An economic superpower on the basis of the strength of the numbers you have. You have the population of about 200 million people. Why are you not taking advantage of it? Why can't you have a situation where all the countries that you are importing things from at the moment, the businesses are being operated in Nigeria and jobs are being created, FX is being saved. We would not need to be going around looking for dollars for us to do whatever we want to do. Then restore confidence in the citizens of this country. Have a situation where people can look at you as their leader and feel hope and feel proud of themselves and say, yes, this is my leader.
Finally, how would you rate this current government? How would you rate the current president in the person of Muhammadu Buhari? On a scale of 0 to 100, how would you rate him?
25.
25 of 100?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I needed. And then accountability issue has always been something Africans haven't gotten a grasp of or on, because when you mess up after we vote you in, giving us a word 4 years or this and that you can impeach me, you get in and you become too powerful and no one can talk to you and nothing. So should you be in that position whereby we don't trust you anymore, we don't believe in your vision anymore, how do you suggest we can get you out of there? Or would you be honest enough to bow out?
Well, if as far as I'm concerned, leadership to me is a calling. It's not something that is about ambition. It's an assignment that I believe that I have something to offer the society. All right? And the process of electing the president. If Mathias can become the president of Nigeria, then it means that Nigerians have taken hold of their country. And if Nigerians have been able to produce a president like me, then Nigerians can say to me and say, you know what, we brought you here, we get you out. So really, what I am trying to do is to return power to the owners of power.
All right, it's been a good time with you. Thank you so much for your time once again. And we'll be monitoring closely your planned and means of getting to that top step. But then, in as much as I didn't ask you, why didn't you go for the local government, the grassroots, positions? I believe your vision has been set already, and we are going to look out for you come 2019 and your progress from now. Thank you so much, Mr. Mathias.
Thank you very much, Zoe.
Well, we promised you, didn't we? Bring you relevant, revealing, and maybe to add this one, monitoring spirit right now. This is coming courtesy TheNerve Africa. My name is Zoe Chinaka. I will see you next time on Column 19.